and they were special features that people wanted.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't like a mini film that no one cared about the special features. It was a. The funny thing is, it's a big important film. I can't remember the name. So tons of people bought the DVD
Yeah.
until I think it was 4 months later when someone found out a way to crack the code. And pirating about, which is a downer, but still, those are the kind of measures that we need to put in more. We need to invest more in.
Actually, I disagree with that. I don't think we need more of that. I think we just I think this stuff needs to just be easier to get. I mean, good example is online streaming.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
I go to Crunchyroll now. I don't need to go to the streaming sites because it's available now. And the main problem with that is educating people that it's out there. The second being that it's not worldwide. So okay, fine, it's there for America, but the large numbers of anime fans in other countries are left out because things are licensed country by country. So that needs to get fixed. But I think once we get legal streaming, and especially when it's coming out, again, like a day after it comes out in Japan, I don't need to to pirate anymore.
Yeah, that's the one problem with Crunchyroll is it's not even a week after it's aired in Japan.
Yeah.
Sometimes the entire series has aired in Japan before it's even out on Crunchyroll.
Yeah, not these days. That's one of the nice things is that they're now simulcasting things like immediately.
All right, I must not be keeping up with Crunchyroll.
Yeah, it's not everything, but there's quite a bit. It's pretty cool.
Well, that's good. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just obviously we need to increase this sort of stuff.
Yeah. And you always have the problem that okay, so Crunchyroll has 6 or 8 of the 30 anime that came out in Japan this season. So yeah. Anyway, some good news for those who are worried about Del Rey Manga, which is kind of their line has been sort of taken over. Basically, Kodansha wants to rework some of its titles, mainly because Kodansha is getting more involved in licensing things. So, for example, Ghost in the Shell and Akira have both been licensed out for Hollywood, and Kodansha would like to sort of bring those properties back under its umbrella. So basically a bunch of Del Rey mangas licenses have been pulled back and will be taken over by Kodansha. So let's see here, Holic, Fairy Tail, Air Gear, and Negima will be transferring over to Kodansha. The nice thing is that they're working this out with the company. So it's going to be one of those things where you get you have volumes 1 through 4 released so far. If Volume 5 is in the pipeline, Del Rey will finish Volume 5, Kodansha will take over with Volume 6. So they're making sure that works reasonably well and everyone understands what's going on, and they don't just dump and then go on to the next thing. So we'll see.
Is this manga or anime? Because isn't Air Gear already going to be getting translated or dubbed, the anime?
This is manga only.
Right, okay. Because I'm pretty sure the Air Gear anime has already been announced to be dubbed.
Yes, it has.
Sometime in 2011?
Undoubtedly. Given Air Gear is fairly popular. I mean...
Air Gear was good. Again, it was the same thing that happened with Kion. We're talking about Haruhi, Matthew. Man, I'm obsessed. I was going to say something. Yes, it's similar to K-On! I just stopped watching it.
Yeah.
For some reason. There was no particular reason. I just stopped.
Yeah. And just to be clear, there's a bunch of other Del Rey titles that have not been completed yet. This doesn't mean that Kodansha is going to complete every Del Rey manga that's unfinished, just those Kodansha titles that they want to continue on. So ANN posted this rather snarky full list of everything Del Rey hasn't finished yet, which, I'm sorry, Kodansha is not responsible for everything that Del Rey licensed and decided not to complete. So, oh well. Moving on, we actually have some nice numbers from Yano Research about the otaku market in Japan. Basically, they split up the otaku market into a whole bunch of different categories and looked at the actual numbers for each of those categories and marked, how much they made and all sorts of stuff. And a couple of interesting trends here. So, for example, 7 of those categories expanded in 2009. Dating sims grew the most, grew 83% last year.
Well, I don't think they've ever dropped.
That's very true, and they're planning to, or they're expected to increase more. Also, electronic comics, so e-manga, online games, no big surprise there. Those increased the most. Cosplay outfits, doujinshi, figures, and idols also increased slightly. Some of the interesting trends is that things like adult games and adult videos are actually dropping slightly.
Wow.
Yeah, they're 367 million in 2009, estimated 339 million in this year, and adult video 727 down to 713. Granted, that is $700 million that it's making, but is dropping down a little bit. That said, like doujinshi sells more than adult videos do. Doujinshi outsells porn in Japan, although granted, a lot of that doujinshi is porn. So, you know,
yeah, I was going to say.
$788 million to doujinshi and 727 to adult videos. Plastic models, $314 million. Figurines, $349 million. Dolls, $166 million. So it's why you see all those creepy websites for dolls. Electronic comics, $500 million in 2009. Cosplay outfits make the same amount. Although granted, you've got larger amounts per sale for cosplay outfits. Everything on this list makes at least $100 million every year, which again explains why otaku is such a big business over in Japan. One of the reasons dating sim games increased so much comes down to one single phrase: Love Plus. That sold so many copies that it really pushed up the the dating sim stuff. Also, electronic manga rather have continued to lower their prices, which is helping a lot. And they're starting to get greater penetration, so you're getting more and more of them everywhere and on mobile devices and so forth. So.
The thing about porn's just throw me off, honestly. I mean, I know Japan's Japan, but nowhere on the planet should porn sales go down. It's just not right. It's weird, honestly.
I can only assume that's just sales of basically it's sales of adult videos, and that they're getting their porn other ways. Magazines or doujinshi or dating sims or something.
Well, fun fact about porn is this is less about Japan. I just thought this has nothing to do with anime. It's just a fun fact that I thought everyone might want to know. It's actually about America. America spends more money on pornography in a year than the entire debt of Africa.
Wow.
So if just America took all the funds from pornography, Africa would be out of debt. Granted, they'll go back into debt in 5 minutes, but they'd be out of debt for that wonderful 5 minutes.
Yes, that's crazy.
America still beats Japan on that platform, which is weird because again, Japan is Japan.
That's rather incredibly amazing.
I think it's fantastically, awesomely funny.
I would agree. I'm just kind of blown at the moment. Yeah. Oopsie.
I'm done.
That one goes down in the records for some other. We got to put that somewhere.
Just in the bloopers or something.
Blooper list.
The best of.
Yes.
Otaku no video.
My beer just overran, and it's dripping onto the floor. I hate when that happens. I never can understand that. Sometimes I just pick it up and put it down, and it overflows. Which is why I have paper towels. Hooray. So Matt, do you want to talk about the Evangelion themed wetsuit?
Kapow. I would. Well, I will when I get the thing up.
There we go.
Where is it? There it is. Evangelion. I've actually lost it. I can't find it.
Ah. So there's an Evangelion themed wetsuit.
What? The butt suit.
Basically, someone made a wetsuit that looks like Mari Illustrious's plug suit from Evangelion.
Oh.
Indeed.
Kind of creepy.
Quite creepy.
Ah, here it is. Themed wetsuit.
Actually, let me see. I will see if I can pull up the image, which I didn't plan to have to do, but we'll see here. Meanwhile, Matt will sing and dance for you.
I do actually have my guitar, but it's all the way over there.
Ah.
So I can't do it. It's so bad.
That's so disappointing.
I've actually been learning Sweet Home Alabama because I prefer to play the oldies.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm that sad. And I've been singing it. I've been like sat on my bed, just screaming at the top of my lungs, Sweet Home Alabama, because I'm just that sad. I love the oldies. You can hate me if you want, but I love the oldies. They're just awesome.
That
Especially
is
the
awesome.
Boss.
I
Scratch my back.
have nothing against that. I've almost found the image.
But yeah, I'm looking at the wetsuit now. It's actually kind of cool.
It is. It actually works quite well. Let me pull that up. 1 second. The one problem with this is the amount of I've got so much bandwidth going on here between the Skype video and Justin.tv that I basically can't load web pages. So let me grab that image. Idol Shoko Nakagawa wore this wetsuit for something.
For something.
And this is taking forever, so we may have to just move on before we can actually view it. But it's kind of a wacky story. Also wacky story, some manga artists have made a doujinshi based on various US comics. So they've got Sana Takeda, Ryumoto Yoshinori Natsume, Yoshio Tatani, Maiko Kubo, and Misa Tsutsui did basically a manga that's going to be, or that was available at New York Comic Con and New York Anime Festival combined. So that's pretty cool. Man, that is taking forever to come up. It was put together by the folks at, 1 second. Put together by the folks at, where was it? Doesn't say. I thought it said. Anyway, so that's out there and available, which is kind of nice.
I like doujinshi. It's yes, I say doujinshi. See, that's one thing about me with anime is I came into it on my own.
Okay.
100% on my own. So all the words I found, I pronounced from what I've read.
Mm-hmm.
You know, no one's ever told me these words. So seeing them is how I learn them. I've never heard them being said until I started listening to, for instance, Otaku no Video or anime podcasts. But anyway, I really like doujinshi because they can be what you've always wanted an anime series to be. It's like I've downloaded. Yes, I'm going to mention it again. Haruhi. I downloaded a lot of Haruhi doujinshi,